Hi, this is my demonstration on KD3 visualization assignment for the CS6250 Advanced Computer Graphics and Visualization course. I have developed an interactive 3D visualizer for KD3 construction using C++ within the Afterburner engine. Let me begin with the random data section of the GUI using the number of faces slider here. I can define the density of the data set, like how many faces should be generated in the space. When I click on the generate random data button, the system uses a random number generator to scatter triangle primitives within a 40 unit cubic volume. Each face is assigned a random color and position, as you can see on the screen. Next, let me move to the KD tree build section. Here, I can tune the algorithm's termination logic using the max faces slash leaf slider. This parameter determines exactly when the recursive splitting should stop, and from a leaf node, like if I set it to 1, it will run until each leaf contains one node, one face, and if I increase the slider to max, it will clear the number defined by this slider in its leaf node. So let me build tree with one faces in its leaf node. So if I click on the build tree, it will show the bounding box. I have implemented two types of uh, splitting in here. One uses the bounding volume hierarchy by default. The system builds the tree using wireframe boxes. As the recursion distance, the algorithm calculates the precise axis aligned with bounding box AABB for the subset of faces at that node. And I have added the two buttons to increase so all the steps. If I click on the plus button, that subdivision can be seen one by one. I have used red color for subdivision along x-axis, green color for along y-axis, and blue for the red axis. So if I click on the plus, we can see the box here with the green color dividing along y-axis, and the blue represents along z-axis, x along red along x-axis, and green along y-axis, blue along z-axis. It will continue subdividing until each box contains one node, as we can see in here. I have implemented an smart focus animation system, which if I check the animate button here, the system replaces the recursive insertion steps in real time by focusing the camera where subdivision is happening. If I have also added speed button here. If I decrease the speed, we can see clearly that subdividing is happening in this area. The carry tree recursively subdivides in all available axes by altering the axis, like it first divide x and then y and then z, and Now you can see that the final result in here. Each box contains exactly one face. And if I increase the maximum face per leaf in here and build, let me set it to 10 and click on the build tree. It will build the tree and its subdivision occurs until each leaf contains 10 or less node. So if I click on the animate, you can see the subdivision that each face does not have separate bounding box. It might contain maximum of 10 faces per leaf. So one box can contain maximum of 10 faces. And I have second time of second mode of visualization in which I use plane visualization. In this method, the plane divides the space and shows the tree construction with the plane. If I click on the plus here, the plane will start dividing in each axis. Like it first divides X, then Y, and then G, X, Y, and G, X. There is not enough faces to divide in X and Y plane, so it practically divides C plane in that location. You can see the subdivision in real time. It divides the plane based on the coordinate. So if I move back and do the animation, we can see the subdivision with animation. Let me decrease the number of faces. Generate random data. It divides 10 faces and use maximum faces per list 250. Build tree. It does not build any tree because there is not enough faces to build a tree with 50 faces per leaf. So if I decrease one and click on the build tree, it will build the tree now. And we can see that each face contains maximum of one face per each division. And if I don't want to use the planar visualization, I just need to uncheck build tree and then visualize it with the step. Now each bounding box contains maximum of one faces. We can clearly see. We can see the real-time construction of KD tree in here. That's all for my KD tree visualization. Thank you for watching.